Hi there, welcome to the Player YouTube channel, where we don't just do car reviews, we do tons of other stuff as well. You ready? Run the VT. This is how a car should sound. Listen to this.
I didn't really push it either. I was just having a bit of fun.
Oh really?
I think it makes a good work.
We're going, mate. Nice to see you.
Show us your big chopper, your helicopter. So here we are, the Morgan Roadster. Hey guys, guess what? It's another morning here out in sunny France. Hi there, and welcome to this week's Player YouTube car review. And if you haven't already guessed yet, this is the Genesis GV70. Genesis, I hear you ask. I've heard of them, but where are they from? They're actually from South Korea. They are part of the Hyundai Group, who also own Kia Motors. You must have heard of them. So you've got Hyundai, Kia Motors, and Genesis. Now, Genesis is the luxury arm of the Hyundai company. It's basically like Lexuses to Toyota, that sort of level. But I actually think these are better than the Lexuses, trust me. When we've had a good look around this car, I think you're going to end up agreeing with me as well. And they're value for money. They're not priced at a cost that everyone goes, that's just not in my price range. I'm not going to be able to afford one of those ever. We'll talk about that in just a second. So you've got the GV70 sits in the middle of the range. Then you've got the GV80, which is the top of the range. That's their flagship model. It's massive. I took one out to Holland a couple of weeks ago, 1,200 miles, weather all over. Oh, it was just incredible. Thunder, lightning, torrential rain, 40 degrees of heat, 4 or 5 people in there, dogs, all sorts, luggage. It coped with it more than admirably. It was amazing. So if you want to watch that, check up there now. Click the old review, that little review button. You'll enjoy that. And a few weeks ago, we attended one of those motor days and we had a look at the first look at the GV60, which is the little one to this one. That's an all electric. So if you're into electric cars, well, maybe have a look at that. It's slightly smaller than this. And, there's the G70s. There's the G range as well. They're the saloon cars. Oh, wow. I could just keep going on and on. I wax lyrical about these cars because I think they're great value for money. Now, GV70, let's talk about money. 3 different trim levels. Entry-level car comes in at £39,800. That's your premium car. That's the premium trim. You then jump up to the trim that we've got here today, which is the sport trim, and then the top of the range is the luxury trim. So you've got 3 different trims to start, but starting at £39,800, I think it's amazing value for money. There are 13 different paint colours. I love this red, by the way. It's really striking. Your entry-level car comes with white paint, solid white paint. You won't pay any extra for that. But if you want any of the metallic colours, you're going to be paying £750 extra. And there are some beautiful pearl matte, 3 of them at the top of the range. They're £1,130. But wow, the white one that I did on the GV60, just amazing, beautiful. Anyway, without further ado, let's get around it, let's get inside it, let's get it out on the road and give you our opinion of the new Genesis GV70. Your entry-level premium car gets quad LED headlights with LED running lights, some nice colour-coded bumpers as well, 19-inch alloys, some black roof bars and some foldy-in mirrors that heat up in the winter. Round at the back of your entry-level car, you get some nice LED split tail lights here. You get parking sensors, a parking camera, and just to top it all, if you push the little button just below the wiper there, an electronic tail lift. Check it out. Up front, entry-level GV70s get a number of luxury extras as well as some really nice techie bits and pieces. Firstly, you will get keyless entry and a keyless ignition. We like that. 14.5-inch TFT touchscreen, which unfortunately is not always within reach, but I'll get used to it. You get an 8-inch digital cluster as well, which I really like. It's lovely at night, that. It's got a lovely luminosity about it as well. Electronic front seats, his and hers, polar bear friendly of course, which are really, really nice. You get a lovely leather steering wheel. On the right hand side of said leather steering wheel, you get your driving aids, you get cruise control, you get distance control, you get lane departure control as well. You've got autonomous braking on this car, you've got forward collision avoidance built into this car, all for the entry-level price. And on top of that, you get blind spot monitoring as well, whereas most cars of this range you have to pay extra for. It's all included in your entry-level car. You will get a nice dual-zone air climate control, which I really like because it's got a couple of big knobs, and you know I love me knobs, because when you get in here in the winter and you've got gloves on, you've got wet hands, you don't be flapping around with a TFT touchscreen. You want to be able to dial straight in on your knobs there, which I think are perfect. On top of that, just to finalise everything off, you do get Apple Play in this car and you do get Android mirroring. However, I would like to point out that the Apple Play is not wireless, not at the moment, not at the time of us filming this, so you still have to plug it in. All in all though, value for money, guys. Let's check out under the bonnet what the engine and gearbox configurations are. Now the bonnet release catch is down here, single pull in the driver's footwell. Don't forget, guys, if you're driving a left-hand drive car, it's going to be in the passenger footwell because they're not going to swap it all around, cost too much money. The actual bonnet release catch itself is there in the middle. You lift up, you don't go left or right, so that'll just give you a little hint. Don't need to lift it, it's got gas struts. Luxury car at the end of the day, guys, come on. What were you expecting? This particular car has the 2.5 litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine. It develops around about 300 brake horsepower and will give you a 0 to 60 time in around about 6.5 seconds. Fuel economy, about 30 to the gallon. So you're suffering a little bit there when it comes to the fuel economy, but you have definitely got the power in this car. It's mated up to an 8-speed whisper quiet gearbox, which I really, really love when I'm not being attacked by flies. There's also a diesel version of this car. It's a 2.2 litre 4-cylinder diesel engine, and that will develop around 200 brake horsepower with a 0 to 60 time of 7.9 seconds. But it will give you 40 to the gallon, so you have to weigh up which way you want to go with it. However, today we have learned, straight hot off the press, as they say, the GV70 is going to be available as an all-electric car as well. So exactly this car, but without the motor in there and the electric motor instead. Now that will have an electric motor capable of developing 490 brake horsepower. Yes, 490. Absolutely incredible. With a range of around 283 miles. And the best bit of all, a 0 to 60 time, 4.1 seconds. That's rapid. One thing you're going to appreciate within the GV70 is the size of its boot. It's quite big for its class. First up though, we've got the dreaded parcel shelf, as I call it. However, I always say, if we can put them underneath somewhere, they stay. If not, they go. Now this is the blind version. The reason you're going to have to remove this, imagine you're out on the road and you've got a couple of bikes to pick up, or you've got a couple of dogs got to jump in and you've got to put the seats down. Well, straight up, that rolls back quite nicely. Now, getting it out, I like to prove this, you can do with almost one hand, as simple as that, because it's got a pressurised end to it. We like that. Underneath here, you just push the little tab down, lift up like that. You have to take your little segments out in the corner, one either side, and then you can beautifully lay this straight in there like that. It pops in there perfectly. Put your little pieces back there like that, one either side, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's a rude word. Check it out, it's gone. And now you've got all that lovely space. 542 litres of boot space. That is the equivalent of about 7 small carry-on cases, you know, the ones you take on the plane, or 4 large adult cases will go in here easily. It's got a lovely depth to it. What you'll also notice, it's got a lovely height to it as well. There's no load lift here, no load drop. That's what I meant to say. So it's all nice and level, and you've got the scuff guards on here. I'm always on about scuff guards and things like that. How beautiful is this? To the right here, down the bottom, you've got a 12-volt adapter, and here comes the best bit. I love this. You've got these little pulley handles here. You can just pull them like that. Down goes one seat. It's 60-40 split. lean across, pull that one as well. Now you've got 1,678 litres of boot space. Trust me, you could get a small bed in there. So, passenger-wise, GV70, you're definitely going to get 2 adults, one either side here, with a third passenger potentially in the middle. Let's check it out. The transmission tunnel is not that high, so it's easy to climb over. You can get your feet either side. It's going to be tight, but definitely an adult either side. If you have got young kids and they need child seats, baby seats, whatever you call them, you've got your ISOFIX points either side. One thing I love about this car, you don't have those horrible foldy downy, poppy outy ISOFIX points. These are built in and it's just clearly marked on the seat itself. So much nicer, much neater as well. You've got the recessed seat belts, allows you to move across, and I love the finish on this car. This is the sport trim level, so you do get the really nice leather on this car. It's lovely, and I love the red as well. Never would have entered my head to have had red with a red car, but there you go. Learn something every day. This car also benefits from the convenience pack. It's an extra £1,460. It includes a number of extra bits and pieces like heated steering wheel and aircon for your rear passengers, which is very nice indeed, but is it a necessity? I'll leave you to weigh that one up. I'll tell you more about the packs in due course as we go through the review. One thing I don't like about this car is the granny's fishnet stockings, whatever these things are used for these days. I think we either get rid of them or you create, you know, a really nice back of the seat that works, that you can hide stuff in. But having these, it's like I don't know, it's a bit of a last minute thing that's been added in my opinion. We don't use them for anything these days anyway. You'll also notice that the seats are cut out to give you a little bit more knee room. And I think you do need it. You can get your feet underneath, but there isn't a lot of give there. You have got a bit of a gap. Where I have noticed that there is a lot of room is in the ceiling in here. I was quite surprised because when you look at the shape of this car, I thought it was going to be quite low at the back here. In actual fact, it's really, really high. It's very, you know, quite deceiving until you get in here. Couple of extra bits and pieces you get on here. You've got the dual USBs in the back, so the kids are not going to fight over who gets to charge their peripheral, so to speak. You also get, you can adjust the seat here forwards and backwards like that, and forwards and backwards as in between, you know, pushing it forwards and backwards. So I think that's going to be a bit of a bind. If you've got young children in here, that is just gagging to be used and played with, and that's going to become really annoying for mummy or daddy, whoever's sitting in the passenger seat. No split in the middle here, unfortunately. I would have liked to have seen a ski rack or somewhere I can, you know, the B&Q rack, as I call it, where we could put the wood in here, but unfortunately we don't have that sort of, you know, it's not there. Do get the pulley downy bit here with the double cup holder, and you've got a nice armrest here when you're driving long distance. And finally, which I wanted to show, and I've saved the best till last, as I always do, you get adjustable rear seats. Watch this, there's a lever down here on my right, and it can, well, you wouldn't want to sit like that, but it goes all the way back like that. You can almost have a sleep in there. So if you want to enhance your GV70 even more with some really super cool techie bits and pieces, then go for the Innovation Pack. It will set you back £4,190, but I actually think it's really worth it. Immediately you'll notice you get a 12.3-inch cluster here, which encompasses, wait for it, yes, 2 cameras. So when you indicate left, then the little camera comes up there for your blind spot monitoring, or if you indicate right like there, again, the little camera comes up for you. It's essential when you're on a motorway or a dual carriage, anything more than one lane where you're pulling across lanes. It's absolutely brilliant. You get a fantastic heads-up display as well. That comes included in the Innovation Pack. You also get those beautiful matrix headlights, you know, the ones that sort of follow where you're going and sense oncoming traffic and things like that. I think they're, again, really nice to have. And you have the auto dip beam on this car as well. You just leave it in the auto. Down here you will get a, well, you just see the little pocket there. How nice is that? Look at the way that just opens. That is your wireless phone charger in there. There's also a couple of USBs in there as well if you don't want to use the wireless phone charger. But I just love the way that all pops away in there and leaves it nice and neat and tidy. In addition to that, you get the front park assist, and wait for it, let's put the car into reverse and we will show you the camera on here, which is very, very cool. You get the rear camera, which you get included in it, but you also get the above surround camera there. Look at that. How cool is that? So you've got the surround view camera, you've got the front park assist as well, and in addition to all of that, there is the remote smart parking. You're probably going, remote smart parking, what's that about? Let me show you. So as I mentioned lastly in the Innovation Pack, the remote smart parking option. Now, remote smart parking doesn't mean I'm going to suddenly get a little person come running out and park my car for me. Far from it. What it actually means is when you get a situation like this where you've parked up, gone into your meeting or gone shopping and you've come back, and I know it's happened to you, and someone like this has parked so close you can't get in to your driver's door, Genesis have come up with an idea. They've thought of this and it's utterly, utterly brilliant. You get a key, a remote smart parking key. This is the standard key, but it's got these other little buttons on it, and one of them says hold. So initially, push your alarm system, then just hold the button that says hold, and with that, the engine will start. As you will see, there's no one in the car, it's still all locked up. At this point, what you want to be doing is moving your car backwards. You don't want it coming forwards, so if you stand in front, you will protect that car. If you hold that button down, the car will now move into reverse and start to remove back. Look at that. How cool is that? Now it's actually checking around itself as well, so there's nothing behind. So if you did, let me just demonstrate what would happen if it came forward and someone stepped in front of it. So if I now push the button and bring it forward towards me, and I stood in front, it will stop immediately. How amazing is that? So let's reverse it back up again. We're actually going to reverse it right the way out. There we go. So there is a car behind. We'll stop there. I'm going to check round the back to make sure. So it's going to work its way back. Here we go. You can hear it. Look at that. Now I can get into the car. Shut the door. Put the car into drive, and there you have it. Absolute simplicity. Genesis, you're amazing. I love it. I'll catch you in a minute. So here we are, finally out on the road in the GV70. And the first thing I noticed when I got into the car to drive it was, number one, how lovely the door sounds when it closes. It's really, really solid. So when you close it, you feel like you're actually closing a proper door. The next thing was how silent it is on the road. I was expecting with the larger alloys that it was going to be quite a lot of road feedback, but I'm hearing hardly anything at all, especially driving along on these lovely country roads. There's no noise from the air either. The windows are well laminated. Another thing I really love is the all-round peripheral vision. It's got a massive windscreen on this car. It's got some lovely big windows. I love the little triangular windows down here behind the mirror. When you're manoeuvring this car, they're really handy. You can actually see through down there. And they kind of make this whole sort of, you know, this look all the way around here that it's almost one piece of glass. These pillars are very inobtrusive as well, and they're covered in Alcantara, which is really nice. It's a very luxury premium feel to this car, and I think that is really what is selling it to me. The brakes are good, suspension is absolutely superb. You've got a number of different driving modes on this car, and the driving modes are activated here at the front. There's a button. So you've got, we're in the economy at the moment. So in the economy, you're going to get the best out of the car that you can. We're currently getting around 30 to the gallon. That's around town as well, which is, again, really, really good. Then you go into comfort mode. Just click down once, it will go into comfort mode. You've then got sport, changes, opens the baffles a little bit. You can hear that. Seat tightens up a little bit around you. Get a little bit more bang for your buck with the throttle as well. And then finally, if you just click down again on this particular car, you've got Sport Plus, which actually turns off the traction control. Something that I don't do that often unless I'm out on track, but I think if you were out on the road, off-road somewhere, that might come in handy. I'm going to put it back into, very simply, into the eco mode, save some fuel on this car. All in all, it's a genuinely really nice car to drive. I love the way the seat is set up as well. With the electronic steering column adjustment and the electronic seats, you can get the perfect driving position. And these seats are superbly bolstered. It looks good, it feels good, but what else does it have to offer? So as you would imagine, every Genesis GV70 does come more than well equipped. You saw that when we were recording the piece on the entry-level car and what you actually get for the money. However, if you want to stamp your mark on one of these cars, you know, invest in a few nice extra bits and pieces, Genesis have pretty much covered everything. For example, you can get yourself a really nice panoramic sunroof for an extra £1,460. Or failing that, if you want a number of bits and pieces, you can go for the convenience pack. Now the convenience pack will set you back £1,440, but includes things like electrochromatic mirrors, so at night you won't get blinded by the lights from behind. You will get a heated front steering wheel, which is lovely during the winter. On top of that, you will get air-cooled and heated front seats. Again, this is really nice luxury bits and pieces that you can add to this car. You can get ambient mood lighting as well, so you can set the colours up at night how you like it. And in the back for your passengers, you can get some added extra comfort with aircon for the passengers. In addition, you will get a premium air filter to go with that, which obviously will cut out all those particulates. And one thing which I really love, and I think for £80 is almost essential, is a fingerprint entry system. Very, very James Bond. So when you buy yourself a GV70 from Genesis, you're going to get a decent warranty, as you would expect with a premium product. All Genesis products come with a 5-year or 60,000 mile warranty. In addition to that, you will get 100,000 miles or 10-year warranty on the powertrain. That's all your moving bits like your gearbox and your engine stuff. If you're worried about paintwork, then don't worry when you buy a Genesis, because you've got a 12-year anti-perforation warranty. That's all your rusty bits and pieces covered in a nutshell. You've got a 5-year paint guarantee as well. So if you're not happy with any part of the car with the paintwork, they'll cover and look after that for you as well. You get roadside and accident assist, which is nice. That's all included for the 5 years. You'll also get map updates and any software or connectivity updates, all free of charge, all included in that warranty. And then just to top it all off really nicely, you've got 5 years worth of scheduled servicing. And if you thought that was good, wait till I tell you about the next bit, because you don't even have to worry about the servicing. Genesis will take care of that, because when you buy one of these cars, you get a Genesis personal assistant, and he or she will be contacting you when your service is due. They will be sending you a car that you can use while your car is being serviced. And when your car is serviced and returned to you, they will collect the car, so you don't even have to walk out of your door. It's simply perfect, and I think the Genesis Assistant puts the cream, the cherry, on the top of the Genesis cake. Excellent. And finally, but by no means least, the Genesis GV70 has a fantastic all-wheel drive system built into it, so you can quite literally take this anywhere. Now, the way you access the all-wheel drive system, the terrain mode as Genesis call it, is via your menu up here on your big 14-inch touchscreen there. Now, there's a null button down here. If you scroll across like that, you will find the widget that says terrain mode. If you click on that, then an animation will appear of your car in your colour with your wheels turning round. I love this. And you'll start to see different degrees of the steering, the actual, which way you're turning, how many degrees, which again is a very handy thing off-road. Now, in order to actually access and make the terrain mode start to work, you've got to push the button, your drive mode button. That's the button that we had earlier for the comfort mode, the eco and the sport mode. Now, it's a dual use button, so if you click it, it will go into the terrain side of its button, and at that point you can now access, and you've activated the terrain mode. So we'll push that, and the first one to come up is snow mode. I love snow mode, and a little graphic comes up. You've got roll and pitch here as well as the degrees of angles on your steering. It's very Range Rover this. I'm really shocked. It's absolutely brilliant the way it's done, the animation. So as you're turning like this, it will show you the minus degrees as you're going around the corners. Perfect when you're off-roading, so you know whether your steering is dead straight or not, or if you've got to get through woods and trees and things like that. If you've ever done any off-roading, you will agree with me, this is a very, very good system. In addition to that, you've also got, we'll click down one more like that, we've now got mud mode. Perfect for here in the UK, as you're probably aware, wherever you're watching in the world. The UK gets an awful lot of rain, and we obviously have a lot of mud. And we have things called fetes and gymkhanas and things like that, where you will need to take take the car, albeit only for a few hundred yards, but it might be through a field or, you know, just to generally get your horse box out or something. Now, mud mode is going to be absolutely perfect for that. And then finally, as if all that wasn't enough, we've got one more mode. If we scroll down again, you will come into sand mode. And again, you get a little graphic and the sand's being blown up, and it's just really cool. I love that. And it's showing you roll and pitch again. I think the whole system is absolutely superb. Sand mode, I can't really, well, I suppose we've got a few beaches over here. If you were going down to the beach and you wanted to take the kids on the beach and have a bit of fun in your Genesis GV70, then you've got, yeah, sand mode. There you go. So all in all, I mean, what a versatile car. It's got the power, the speed, you've got the comfort mode, you've got all your modes in there. And then on top of that, if you need to get off-road, it's all built in. I think it's pretty much of a winner, this car. So there you have it, guys, the Genesis GV70. What a car. I've thoroughly enjoyed driving this over the last couple of weeks. It really has outperformed my expectations. But then again, Genesis have the backing of the Hyundai and the Kia brand, so the base for building something like this is already there. It's already cemented and it's already excellent. It's already brilliant. And Genesis have just taken that and used all that expertise and sprinkled a load of luxury dust all over the top of it and ended up with these cars, which I think is utterly brilliant. If you want to get a test drive in one of these, you don't even have to go down to the showroom to do it. Genesis will actually bring one to your home, or they'll even bring one to where you work. Leave it with you for a couple of days and then come and collect it. I mean, life just doesn't get more simpler when it comes to that brand. They have Genesis assistants, and if you'd like to head over to genesis.com, there it comes down there, you can read all about that and book your test drive in your car. You can even configure a whole car as to the way you like it in the colours and all the different variations that we've spoken about during this review. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the review. Don't forget, like, subscribe and comment. If you could give us a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it, because we don't get a bonus, we don't get paid any extra, but we do get a pat on the back from the boss and the sponsors for a job well done. Because if you thumbs up, likey, so to speak, then that means you've liked what we've just done, and that means the boss is happy with what we're doing. All makes sense at the end of the day. If you've got any comments, leave them in the box down below. Anything, questions about the car, the brand, whatever you want to know, and one of the team will get back to you in due course. Don't forget, you can also subscribe, because as you saw at the beginning of this video, we don't just do car reviews. There's loads of other stuff we do. So we're not doing car reviews every week. Well, we are doing car reviews every week, but we also have a lot of fun doing other stuff every week as well. Basically, we're very, very busy, but we enjoy what we do, and hopefully that comes over on camera to you guys. Also, we are part of a much bigger organisation. So before you suddenly switch off or flick to the end, hang on, because you're going to get offered something for free here, and it really is for free, and it's value for money. Yet again, love a bit of value for money. We are part of The Player. The Player is a 220-page bookazine for men. A bookazine is a magazine that has a hard cover and comes out on the same frequency as a magazine. So you're looking at it now, there you go, that's The Player, so you know what it looks like. It's 220 pages of everything us guys absolutely love. There's boats, there's cars, there's jet skis, there's food, there's golf, there's holidays. Yeah, it just goes on and on and on. There you go, you've seen it through the pages there. If you want that for absolutely zero, zilch, completely gratis, as they say, just head over to www.theplayer.co.uk. I'm going to bring it up now, and I'm going to leave it up for a few seconds so you can memorise that. Go to the top of the page of the website, it says register. So you register up there. Hang on, I know what you're going to say. AJ, I haven't got time. I'm not going to be able to give you all my details and my bank details. No, no, no. It's free. I don't need to know the inside leg measurement and all that stuff. All I need is your name and your email address. That is it. As simple as that. Nice and simple. Fill that in. And the online version is yours. I can't send you the big book because that's £100 each. So, you know, sort of understand on that one. But you can have the online version. It's exactly the same, no different to the big hardback book. You get that completely free of charge every time it comes out, not just a one-off. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back next week, something different. Look forward to it. In the meantime, take care.